This will be the golden age of America.
We finish as we started, with optimism, with energy, with joy.
The results are starting to come in. How the race for the next president, as we take a live look at Washington, D.C., is starting to stack up. Here at home, we're also live around Idaho, keeping you updated on our local races tonight.
We're here at the Grove Hotel at the Democratic Party's election watch party, and the Democrats are telling me there are 54 Democratic House candidates and 27 Senate candidates on the ballot. It's a record for the party this year, and we're here asking questions and finding out how they're feeling on this very important election night in 2024, and we'll be here throughout the night to keep you updated.
And I'm Scott McClendon. We're live at Republican headquarters where a celebration has started here based on a number of the national victories that are going down across the board. We're going to talk to the senior senator from the state of Idaho coming up momentarily for his reaction on tonight.
And we're hoping to help you make sense of all this tonight. So we've got Boise State political scientist Dr. Jacqueline Kettler here to help us break down all the numbers, her analysis of what's happening in the election. Our coverage starts right now.
This is a local election night update.
All right, it's 9:01. That means rolls are starting to come through, starting to shape up with race for president. Right here, you can see the results. 99 electoral votes for Kamala Harris and 175 for Trump in this breakdown right here for you. This will be rolling up throughout the night as more states are called. We'll share those results with you as it happens throughout the newscast here in the next hour and a half. The latest results you'll also see scrolling at the bottom of your screen as those continue to update throughout the night. Here in Idaho, polls closed for about an hour here down south and just a couple of moments ago up north as they are Pacific time and we're in Mountain time. As of the latest update, the Idaho Secretary of State, Phil McGrain, says more than 826,000 people voted in this election. And anytime now, we do expect the first results to start coming in as they're entered into the systems. We are going to be with you again over the next hour and a half, 90 minutes here on Fox 9, and CBS 2 will be coming in live as well with local election coverage starting at 10. We have reporters covering Idaho issues and Boise State political scientist, again, Dr. Jacqueline Kettler, the political scientist there on campus, helping us bring things into perspective tonight, helping them come to our level of understanding here. If we're not real big experts into politics, she's here for us to do that. Let's take a live look at the Ada County Elections headquarters. You can see that they've got the ballots here, and this is where they've been locking those machines, and now they are busy counting so we can get numbers in. Part of their transparency is so you can see all of this happening. This is what's happening in Canyon County's election office. A lot of people out there counting the ballots, making sure everything is going smoothly. The machines did all test out as counting correctly last week and earlier this week. All right, so we're going to keep this feed up for you, or they're going to keep this feed up for you all night. You can always check in, and we'll be checking in on it every once in a while as well. As we wait these results for all the Idaho races, let's get to our live and local coverage. We've got Dakota Cassette-Didier at the Grove Hotel with Idaho Democrats. But first, let's check in with Scott McClendon. He's with the Idaho Republicans at the Courtyard Marriott in Meridian. Scott, what's going on?
Thanks, Janae. It's a party atmosphere here now at Republican headquarters. They are watching a lot of victories come off the board tonight nationally, and just got some big news on the state of Ohio, the Senate election there. And joining us now is Senator Mike Crapo, who is the senior senator from the state of Idaho. Senator Crapo, how are you feeling here tonight about the Republican, the GOP party overall?
Well, you know, we are very hopeful that we can elect President Trump. It looks good, but I'm not counting any chickens until the eggs are hatched there. We needed to win at least 2 Republican seats back from the Democrats in order to take control of the Senate, and we have won 2 of them. There's another one we may win, and so it looks very good. It looks like we are going to have a Republican majority in the Senate.
And that being West Virginia and Ohio would be the 2 that you would have flipped at this point.
The third one that still could happen is Montana. And there may be others. Wisconsin and Michigan are also still in play.
Now, if that happens with the Senate, I mean, you are the ranking member of the Senate Finance Committee. You would become the chairperson. Tell us, setting tax policy, tell us things that you would look to do as the chairperson.
Well, I appreciate that question because I think most Americans are now realizing that the landmark tax legislation we passed in 2017 under President Trump's leadership then was one of the things that created the most powerful economy, more jobs, more wages, better benefits, and actually helped retirees and everybody across the board. That law is going to expire next year. And what that means is if that is allowed to happen, there will be a $4 trillion tax increase on Americans. And the majority of that will fall on people who make under $400,000, most of them under $100,000 or $150,000. And our first job is to stop that from happening. And then there are many more tax reforms that will help to make us more competitive with China, help us develop the kind of economic growth and capital formation in America that will make this economy surge again.
What are you looking for here in the state of Idaho? Specifically, Proposition 1 is on the ballot. How are you feeling about that tonight, and will it go down, or do you think it'll be passed?
You know, I haven't seen any incoming vote tallies on that, so I don't know the outcome yet. I personally oppose the proposition. I don't believe ranked choice voting is the way that Idahoans want to vote. They want to be able to know who they're voting for and to make the decision as to who the first place person should be each time around.
Is there anything that you're worried about tonight at this point in the evening?
Well, yes, I still want to see the votes for president to come in solidly, particularly in Michigan and in Wisconsin. I believe if we do well in either of those two states, in Pennsylvania, that he will be president. I also want to see the House win back a few more seats from the Democrats and get a stronger Republican majority, because if we have the House, the Senate, and the White House, we can make much more progress in rebuilding the kind of America and rebuilding the economy that has been literally stripped from us in the last 4 years.
Senator Crapo, we really appreciate your time here tonight. Good luck the rest of the way. We look forward to bringing you all the results as they become official from Idaho races and the national races as well, and the ballot initiatives. Janae, back to you.
And you heard some people cheer in there. That's because Idaho was just called for Trump, as Senator Crapo was talking about that. So let's now check in with Dakota at the Grove Hotel in downtown Boise, where Idaho Democrats are gathering. Obviously a point of conversation there right now too, Dakota.
Well, Janae, we just heard from Boise Mayor Lauren McLean, as well as the Democratic Party Chair Lauren Nicocea. And what they told us is that this is a bit of an echo of the 2020 election, and that we need to have a little bit of patience as states continue to count their full voter rolls. But what they did tell me is that they've got a lot of faith here for Idaho's elections. Idaho Democrats tell me that they knocked on 145,000 doors, 20,000 of those in the last 4 weeks, and made 135,000 phone calls in support of their candidates that are running all across the state. And looks like right now we're being joined by Democratic Party Chair Lauren Nicocea. Thank you so much for joining us, Lauren. As the night is going on, can you tell me a little bit about how you're feeling?
I'm just feeling so proud of the effort that we've made. It's historic in Idaho, 144,000 doors knocked, over 133,000 phone calls made, and we know what's at stake. We know 4 women have already died nationally because of abortion bans that look just like Idaho. So we need women's lives depend on change in Idaho, and that's the work that's ahead of us. The map is harder for for Democrats in this state, and we're clear-eyed about how hard it is, but we're fighting to save women's lives, to save our schools from costly voucher schemes, to make sure the Republicans don't succeed in their plan of kicking 84,000 Idahoans out of Medicaid and leaving them without health insurance and access to medical care. So we're motivated by all the things we need to do for working Idaho families. We want to stop all those big tax cuts that flow to the people at the very top, whereas a child care worker has gotten $27 in benefits in the last 4 years of tax cuts. The top 1% has gotten $15,000. So we need balance, and we need better leadership.
Well, and so we just heard that the Republican Election Watch Party, there's a lot of enthusiasm about the national races happening right now. I'm just wondering how you feel about the national picture as we continue to get numbers throughout the night.
Yeah, it's time for us to wait and see. We saw this 4 years ago. It took days for all those votes to be counted, and the votes that come in slow count the same as the votes that come in fast. So we're just going to be patient and watch how it plays out.
All right, thank you so much for joining us.
My pleasure.
All right, and we're going to be here throughout the rest of the night. We'll continue to bring you updates as we hear them in downtown Boise. I'm Dakota Castets DJ reporting.
All right, again, Idaho just called for Trump by the AP tonight. We're still awaiting more results, but let's talk about this presidential race. We've got Boise State political reporter, or political political scientist. We've done a lot of these election hits here. Dr. Jacqueline Kettler talking about what's going on with this presidential race as Idaho has just called and what they're talking about the states that he needs.
Right. It's still a close race, but Trump seems to be doing quite well where he needed to. So far, a lot of the states that have been called are not really ones we consider very competitive. We still have some of the really major, like the really big swing states left to be called. Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Georgia, all states that we'll be watching closely as they continue to work through their counts.
And these are states that they've been spending a lot of time in, a lot of effort on in the last few days, last handful of days. And we are even learning about long polling lines in Nevada. So like she was saying, some of these votes are going to be pretty slow to come in.
Right, and some states have laws that allow them to accept ballots through the mail and longer. How they count them, it differs. So some states will take longer to count all those votes than others.
Now, I don't think anyone was necessarily surprised, right, that Idaho is called for Trump at this point, correct?
Correct.
Yeah. So what do we see moving forward here? You think we'll be going? Is it just going to be focused on a lot of the local races now, right? As a lot of the attention has come from there with that.
For sure. So we're going to be looking at some of these county races, legislative races, but Proposition 1 will be another one that we'll be watching closely throughout the night.
Yeah, and when it comes to the congressional races, I mean, the Senate, Congress, they can have a big impact on taxes and that kind of stuff that they were talking about too when it comes to this.
Well, that's the other thing, right? Both at in the U.S. Congress, both the House and the Senate are competitive. So we're closely watching some of those races to see who will have majority control in both of those chambers.
And we're going to keep the results coming in as they trickle through tonight. We've got it scrolling at the bottom of your screen. We've got it on idahonews.com, our social media. Let's take another look at the presidential race as we head out for a quick commercial break. You can see right here, Idaho now red for Trump there. We've got 175 electorals in for Harris, 211 in for Trump. We'll continue our election night in America coverage locally, nationally, and statewide when we come back.